Joining us now from Washington is Associate Editor at The Hill, Niall Stanage. Hello to you, Niall. Thanks for joining us. He didn't criticise the assault on the BBC camera operator at the time. He has subsequently. He goes for pantomime at these events. He winds people up into a frenzy, but then a journalist is assaulted. What reaction has there been?
There has been quite a lot of reaction. I think this is one of these instances, Kay, that is shocking but not surprising in a way, if that makes sense. There has been such a ramping up of rhetoric against the media by the president that some kind of action like this was inevitable, really. I have been at Trump rallies. Yes, a certain proportion of the crowd see his attacks as you say, pantomime, a sort of football crowd-style jeering, but a certain proportion take it very seriously. And, we saw that apparently in the instance of the BBC cameraman being attacked.
Has he changed his approach now as a result? Because he has certainly made comments. How should we interpret them?
I think we should interpret them with some scepticism, to be perfectly honest. The president has, through his press secretary, condemned attacks on anyone, including members of the press. And that's all very well. But the point about it is that throughout his presidency, and indeed before it, he has been in the business of throwing lit matches onto petrol with this rhetoric, attacking journalists as the enemies of the people, attacking them persistently as fake news. This stretches back at least as far as his campaign, when a young female journalist here, Katie Tour, had to be walked by Secret Service back to her car after a rally because they feared she was in danger. So it's all very well after the event saying nobody should be attacked. But there is such a thing as indirect responsibility, and I think that's something that the president is culpable of, quite frankly.
But the media, some would say, is not without fault. It does get down and dirty with the president, trading blows with their platforms, be it TV, newspapers or whatever. So, he comes out fighting in the only way that he knows how. I suppose my question is, how much does the media have to accept responsibility?
I don't think it has to accept responsibility for physical attacks. Now, there is a separate issue of whether the media has got sucked in to an overly oppositional approach to Trump, seeing their role as putting him down rather than covering him with vigour. Of course, as always, it's difficult to talk about the media as a monolithic thing. There are outlets that are very supportive of President Trump. But yes, there is a possibility that the media sometimes gets sucked into that overly confrontational attitude. But I think we have to be able to separate that strand, Kay, from rhetoric that incites violence. And that's where the danger has arisen, and that's what has unfortunately befallen this BBC cameraman, who fortunately wasn't seriously injured.
Next rally, do you think he'll turn it down?
It's very difficult to predict the president in any respect. I think he may do, but I certainly don't think he will tone it down as the 2020 campaign heats up. There is a side issue here, which is that attacks on the media, I think he finds politically useful. They generate enthusiasm on the part of his base. They cause some supporters of his to dismiss negative factual information about him. So maybe at the next rally he'll tone it down, but don't expect that pattern to last long.
OK, Niall Stanage for now. It's good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed, as always. Thank you.